From Tally to Cali,
It's time
to wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source.
And this is Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee.
Coffee's for closers only.
Now here's Warchant.com's Aslan Hajavandi.
And Corey Clark.
That is right. Feels like it's been a long time since we've done one of these live. I'm Aslan. He is Corey. Welcome on into a live edition of Wake Up Warchant here on YouTube, fueled by DeLuna Coffee. Come explore our world of coffee.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Corey's here. He's in Atlanta. He's got a fancy backdrop or so. Look at you all upgrading with life. Nice shirt, nice backdrop. How's living, man?
It's good, man. It's good. The check finally cleared, and I could buy some a backdrop for me. So I got one in Tallahassee too that I can't wait to unveil the next time I'm down in the great capital city.
There you go. Right on. By the way, folks, these great K-Cups, the Fat Albert, Voodoo, and the Red, White, and Brew, they're buy one, get one free over at DeLunaCoffee.com. So do check it out. This is my next project here, the Palafox Place. Looking forward to it. It's going to be delicious, I bet. We're going to do this a lot now at the top of the show. Just a reminder, folks, if you're watching us here live on YouTube, thank you so much. If you're an iTunes listener, you've been probably experiencing the fact that we haven't been putting shows into your phone, which we apologize for. We're trying to figure it all out, but right now the fix for sure is to simply go on your iTunes app, your podcast app on Apple, and just search for Wake Up Warchant. You'll actually see two results pop up. One of them will have the DeLuna logo on it. If you tap on that one and subscribe, you'll be getting all of our episodes as they come to you. We're going to try to figure it out so that both of them get populated, but you're probably subscribed to the old one, which you don't have to unsubscribe to that one, but just make sure you subscribe to the one that has the DeLuna logo. I probably should have had like a visual aid here on the screen, but I'll get better at some point. Corey, we got lots to talk about. We've got a Sweet 16 appearance on the horizon. We've got football and 6 in a row on the diamond for the baseball team, man. Good time to be a Florida State Seminole, no?
Well, no. I mean, yeah, it is. That's a weird way to answer that. Yes, it is a good time to be a Florida State fan. Your team's one of 16 still alive, and your baseball team seems to have found itself a little bit. And, yeah, the football team, like I said, hasn't lost in, 5 months. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, things are looking up. Things are looking up.
Good way to look at it. Let's go over to Warchant.com's Travel Council real quick. We have the thread posted there of this show, and we've got Noli Moly saying word. He's excited. But then how about BC Noles 16 says, I'm just listening for the Gator Kirk segment, and then I'm out. So who am I, Corey, to not give the folks what they've showed up here for? So without further ado, man, let's go ahead. Let's go to the phone lines. And yep, sure enough. Ooh, we got a new interface. I wish you guys could see this. It's nice and clean. 58 total calls, none other than Mr. Virginia Beach, Virginia himself. Do they also call it the Tidewater? It's Gator Kirk. What's up, Gator?
Let's go, fellas. How are you this evening?
We're good, man. We're good. We're living life.
All right. Yeah, they do call this area the Tidewater. It covers like 7 cities. So, all right. But anyway. All right. So, but no, life's good. I'm mostly happy. Okay. You know.
Oh, come on, man!
In the game, from what I hear.
Not cool, buddy. That did not go over as well as I was hoping. I was trying to say something very nice about Stephanie, and apparently it wasn't received that way from the person that matters the most. So, yeah, I'm more than mostly happy. I'm happy. I'll just say I'm happy. I am happy. Thanks, Gator Kirk, for bringing that up right out of the chute.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's all right, buddy. It's all right.
Here's I know if you're like me, you're in the doghouse, out of the doghouse, in the doghouse. So, you know, I feel your pain. So
bring the energy, Gator Kirk. What's the question, man? What you got for us, man? You came out strong. Let's keep it going.
All right, here you go. You have 2 wishes for any FSU sports team. What would they be?
Corey Clark.
Oh, geez. I mean, it seems pretty simple. I'd want to. Somebody asked us one of these a similar question on headlines today about would we trade 2 more wins for Leonard Hamilton or the football team playing Alabama in the football playoff? what would we rather see?
Oh.
And Jeff said immediately Leonard Hamilton. We want to get him to the Final Four. I'm like, we say that, but man, think about what our lives would be like if we were covering. It's been so long since we've covered a nationally relevant football team. What our lives would be like covering an 8-0 team or playing an ACC championship game, knowing if they win, they get in the playoffs. Man, I think I would lean that way. No, I still think, because I've seen 3 of them. I've seen 3 football national titles. I know how important they are. I also know how awesome they are. But I still think I would go with the baseball team finally getting one and the basketball team. I don't even want to be greedy. Just get to a Final Four and see what happens. But those would be my 2. I guess if you're at the Final Four, you might as well cut down that net too. So I would say basketball championship for Leonard Hamilton. That would ensure a place in Springfield for him in the Hall of Fame, and then a baseball championship for Florida State.
Yeah.
What would you want, Aslan? Just a win over Notre Dame on the football field, and then a win over Florida at the end of the year?
Beat Florida again. Can we get back to beating Florida? That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I'll take winning the College World Series in Omaha as long as Mike Martin Sr. is still with us on this planet. I think that just, if it happens like 50 years from now, it's not going to nearly be as cool as if it were to happen 5 months from now. It's just the way I feel about it. And I don't know, man. Sorry. I love Ham. I love the basketball team. If you haven't seen the one-on-one that Corey did with Wyatt Wilkes, it's on our YouTube channel. It's great just to hear Wyatt talk about his teammates, talk about Leonard Hamilton, how much it means to everybody in that program to get 2 more wins and get them to a Final Four, what that would mean to them. And I don't want to discount or take away from that at all. But yeah, man, get me in the playoff, bro. Let's get this football thing back rolling. Everybody will be so much more happy. But I mean, I don't say that lightly, but that's what I'll take. I want a College World Series victory with Mike Martin still on this planet, and I want to get back to a college football playoff. That's what I'll take. What about you, Gator Kirk? What are your 2 wishes?
I'd really like to see the baseball team break through, just because they've been there so many times and haven't finished the deal. And I'll go with basketball, because I think football is going to come around, but basketball is on an upswing. I don't think they've played all that well prior to the other night, but I like to see them get to a Final Four, or maybe even to another final like they did back in 72. So that would, I think it was 72.
Yeah,
that would
it
be
was
correct.
Yeah, but if you're going to wish to get to the final, you might, if the genie's there granting wishes, let's go ahead and finish the deal and get the championship.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else for us, Gator Kirk?
No. Well, I was wondering about that zoo. If we're gonna offer goat yoga in there, because then it could be like a twofer. The goats could be in the zoo, and then the players could get some goat yoga at the same time a little bit later, like after practice.
Absolutely. I'm all about that.
Well, and you're being conscientious with your money. You're being cost effective there. You're getting to do 2 things with one. So obviously every zoo has goats, right? I guess it's a petting zoo. Petting zoos have goats. I don't know. Can you pet goats?
Yeah, man. Of course.
Okay, they're pettable. Yeah. I don't know much about animals. So if you can pet a goat, then yeah, you can do yoga with a goat. They can be multi-purpose goats.
There we go. All right, Gator Kirk starting us off on this little bit of a late kickoff on a Thursday night here on a live edition of Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee. Gator, thanks, man.
All right. I appreciate it. Everyone support Warchant. Make sure you get all your DeLuna products. And as always, go Noles. Very exciting time of year for us. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for taking my call. I'll behave next time.
Oh, stop. You're the man. You're always behaving. Hopefully BC Noles 16 is still hanging around. I know he says he was just here for the Gator Kirk segment, but hopefully he didn't leave. We got plenty more good show coming up, I'm sure of it. And my goodness, oh my gosh, so every time these super chats happen, there's like these colors pop up on my screen. Let's go. Let's start it up. Eric Angel in the crib. Let's go, Eric.
Dollar bills.
Oh, that's a little hot. It's a little hot. Let me turn that down a notch. Sorry about that, everybody. Coming a little crazy on a late Thursday night. Eric Angel says, "What's up, fellas? Corey, missed you last Saturday." Pause, Aslan. Thank you very much, Eric. Appreciate it. That has to be said. All right, he misses you, Corey. He didn't see you on Saturday. He was there for the UNC Greensboro game. Indianapolis was dead. My favorite bar was closed. I'll be at Madison Social prior to the spring game, April 10th. Go Noles, and our Noles going to the Final Four.
Eric, I was about to say, thank you very much again, man. That's very, very kind. I was about to say, well, man, you should have hit me up and told me you were going to be there. And then I just remembered you did. It was either an email or a DM. I think it was an email. I read it. I said, I need to get back to him, and I completely forgot about it. I apologize. I was there with Stephanie, but we weren't doing anything. In Indianapolis, they had some bars that were open, but yeah, there was. They had some like right across from the Baker's Life. There were a couple bars that were open, and the Hooters was open, which is always good. But yeah, it wasn't what it would be next year or the year after that. I really like Indianapolis, man. I thought I was really impressed with that downtown area. I think maybe it's growing up in Atlanta and not really having a downtown area that people walk around and go to bars and hang out as much. But I really like that area of that area of the country. But I thought Indianapolis was impressive. So sorry, Eric. If I can get there to Madison Social for the spring game, I'll try my best. But if not, we're always here. We're always here for the home games. So let us know the next time you're in town if I can't make it to Madison Social.
By the way,
Aslan, I'll send Aslan as a proxy.
There you go. Yeah.
You're always at Mad So anyway.
Yeah, man, sure. That place is too fancy for me. I don't want to be a downer. I don't think this is a downer. It's just being realistic. I don't think we're going to have anything going on for the spring scrimmage because it's not. I don't know how many people are going to file into Tallahassee for that exercise. I mean, I get it. They can do what they want to do. I'm not criticizing it, but I just don't think we're going to get the kind of participation we were hoping for that spring game. So maybe we'll do something big for the Notre Dame game. We've got a longer takeoff, landing strip, whatever, and we'll figure something out for that September game against Notre Dame, and maybe we can do a real, true, good listener appreciation thing, so that we can all embrace. I'll feel
especially
better
because it's a Sunday game, so we could do something fun on Saturday night.
Yeah,
Saturday evening-ish, maybe not night, maybe not like 10 o'clock, but evening rolling into night.
Let's go.
We can do it at your new house, Aslan.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'll be in there hopefully by then. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, in the wind.
In the wind. Let's go. What is 100 American Sweet 16 bound? Let's go Noles. Hashtag Horn Gang. In the wind. I wish I knew your name. Can you just give like your initial, like a nickname, so I don't have to say in the wind too?
Do we know where he's from or where they're from?
I don't know.
Come on, in the wind. You're too much of a mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to unveil you a little bit, but man, that's really, really thank you very much. It's weird. They're Sweet 16 bound and they stay in the exact same place. Like they didn't move a muscle after they won. They're still in that same city. And if they're Final Four bound, they're going to cut down that net and then they're just going to go back to the same hotel rooms. Like just stay there for another week. That's just where we are right now. But yeah, man, it's there. There's again 16 teams left. They're one of them. It's been I think you could say this is a successful year already.
Yep. And
because you get to put that on the banner that you hang. You had a chance to do something really special a couple weeks ago. You missed out on that. But if you win 2 more games, that will trump what you missed out on by a lot.
Absolutely. What was your favorite part of talking to Wyatt Wilkes on your one-on-one there, Corey? I thought it was a lot of good stuff. I really liked how you talked to him just about what it's like playing this season and having to kind of watch your back, if you will, with all the craziness going on with the pandemic.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Just that, it's been such a part of our lives now, this college basketball season, 4 months or 3 months or whatever it is. It's been a grind. It is a straight up grind. And we can say, yeah, the NBA is going through it too. Well, the NBA is a multi-billion-dollar business, and all those dudes are millionaires. These guys are sacrificing. I don't know that Wyatt Wilkes has a future in the NBA. I would think probably not, only because he's not a starter on a team as a redshirt junior. But people make strides, so I'm not ruining that for him or killing his dream. But he's doing it for the love of Florida State football or Florida State basketball and NCAA and college basketball. And a lot of these guys, it is a huge sacrifice. And I thought he kind of put it in perspective, like how different this season has been. I asked him how many COVID tests he's had, and he's like, too many. And it's just the sacrifices these guys have made for their university and for themselves to get a chance to play in this tournament. Because, if some things could have gone wrong, they could have just gotten, I'm tired of this. I think it's really remarkable what all the teams have done, but it's, especially because we cover Florida State, I think that really hit home what they've had to go through. No, not eating out at restaurants, not hanging out with friends, not seeing family for months. It's been, I appreciate it. It gives us something to talk about, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch them play.
Yeah. In the win, too. Thank you, man. Let me scroll down. Let me see if you checked in at all, if you've given us any information on who you are. He just simply says the Zags scare him, though. His name's Prince. Your name's not Prince. Stop it.
Nice. That's a great name.
Linden, New Jersey. Stand up. We're everywhere, man. We're everywhere. Thanks again, man. We really appreciate the support. Super awesome of you, man. And it won't stop. It's like it's success begets success, Corey. Mark from the Foley. Let's go. Come on, Mark. What's going on, man? Back from Utah. Trying to make things happen.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Come on. Mark, thank you, man. Thank you.
We very much appreciate it, Mark. That's, again, way too kind. You guys are way too generous. I don't think we've done this since our last one, which was for the food bank, right? For the charity
Sunday.
And that was, again, man, that was so incredible what you guys did. So thank you for that. And we'll be rolling out another one probably in April at some point. So thank you again for being as generous as we knew you would be. And yeah, man, I'm not a huge fan of limos. A wise person once told me.
For the people listening on the podcast the next day, Mark is trying to get something going here to where we can send Corey back to Indianapolis in style via limousine.
Yeah. A wise person once said to me, the only people that ride in limos are people who are impressed by people who ride in limos.
Oh.
I'm not overly impressed by people who ride in limos. It's never been something I've really wanted to do. That I've done it a few times for prom. That's probably about it.
Yeah.
Maybe my wedding. Do you ride limos for weddings?
Some do, yeah.
I don't remember what we did for my wedding. I think we just stumbled to the bar. I don't remember that. But either way, thank you very much, Mark. And I am driving up there. I'm still not sure what day. It depends on Brady a little bit. If he's going or not, we're still trying to figure that out. It's getting late in the game, but we're hoping to have a spot for him. And if that happens, I'll leave tomorrow night. If not, I'll leave Saturday. I will not be in a limo, but I will be in a rental. So there you go. There you go.
Speaking of the devil, I think we've got Mark on the line right now. Mark, is that you?
Oh, my gosh. Yes, it's me. I'm so embarrassed. I'm still on a conference call for work, and I'm really pissed off about it. I assume that I need to leave. So is there any way, Aslan, you can put me back in the queue and I can come back in later?
Absolutely. I'm going to hit. There's a button that literally says return to queue.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, you're fine, man. You're fine. You just gave me 100 American dollars. You're apologizing to me? Knock it off. Get back to work, man. We'll be here. We'll be here.
My blood pressure is spiking right now because all I want to do is talk to you guys, and I'm talking to a board of directors for an HOA still, but I'll be right back.
All right. We'll send him back to the queue, and then we'll go back into here, and we'll grab someone here. We got I think this strikes me as somebody in Central Florida, maybe somebody in a near a retirement community, perhaps called the Villages. Is this Wes?
Bingo.
Let's go.
Nice. Good job, Aslan. You did it again.
I try. Wes, what's going on, man? Welcome to the program.
Yeah, long time no talk, fellas. It seems like forever.
It does, man. We did Selection Sundays when we did the charity drive, and that feels like many moons ago for Harvest. So how are you, Wes? How you been, man?
I'm doing well, fellas. Appreciate it. Hey, Corey, I love the backdrop. You're official now. I like it.
How about that? And I'm not even, I got to do that. And you can see the Wake Up Warchant behind me. I got to figure out this sign and maybe sit a different way so you can see the Wake Up Warchant as well. But it feels great. I ordered it. I asked Gene to get me one. I didn't realize, this thing's like 10 feet. It's an enormous sign. It's not like a little tiny banner, obviously. It's a big deal. So I feel like a big deal now. So I appreciate it, Wes. Thank you, buddy.
You got it. Hey, so you both have been out to a practice, and I wanted to know what's been your biggest takeaway so far for what you've seen so far.
Oh, you go first, Aslan. You saw him most recently.
Biggest takeaway. Again, and somebody got upset on you. Well, they didn't get too upset, but just like, hey, you guys were pumping up Mackenzie Milton a month ago, and now you're kind of poo-pooing on him or tapping the brakes. And it's like, well, yeah, but I'm not selling my stock. Again, I thought he was going to come here and be limited mobily, physically. His mobility was going to be limited. Physically, he was going to be limited. But we were going to see him just kind of, at least when he dropped back, just ball out of his hand on time, nowhere to go with it. But it's been the inverse. So it's not a bad thing. I mean, the physical part of it, I think, is just as big, because that's probably a bigger mental hurdle he'd have to clear later on. But I think he's probably further ahead on that. And yeah, man, we're 8 practices into a 15 practice spring season. So they say they like what he's done from week 1 to now. We'll see what he looks like in the scrimmage on Saturday. There's another one coming up Saturday that's open to the media, so we'll be out there to look at that. And yeah, man, he's got player run practices in the offseason, fall camp, the week of the game. There's certainly plenty of time for him to get better. And if not, man, like that Jordan Travis guy that I probably wasn't all that high on last year, I feel a little bit better about what he brings to the table as a passing quarterback. So that's
but I think we all know Mackenzie Milton can play at this level. It's not like he doesn't have the ability to read a defense or to lead an offense. He did it. He's done it more than any quarterback currently in college football. It's just been a while. There's a big gap there. And so I don't think it should be all that surprising that he doesn't look incredible. It would be remarkable if he did. But I think, we'll start seeing strides. We'll see what the spring game looks like, and we'll go from there. I think, man, and we talked, maybe it's because we talked to Marcus Woodson today after practice, and we kind of basically went through his roster of DBs. The way they talk about Kevin Noles makes it sound like they really like that dude, and he's going to play for him pretty quickly. But just when you're listing names like Jarian Jones and Renardo Green, Travis J. He said Travis J. is, he certainly looks the part. He wants him to be a little louder, which I've never really heard a coach say that before. But, you need your free safety. He wants him to be like his quarterback and be loud and lead the defense. So he's working on that with him. But he said he's a real good player. I think we know he can be. And he starts listing these names, and I'm trying to pump the brakes on it. But I really do think they might have a good secondary. Like Miko Dotson's not even out there yet at all. Renardo Green. Now, look, this isn't a great thing that I keep listing all these guys that are hurt. Akeem Dent, guys that aren't playing right now, but they have so much Damori Tate. They have so much depth that you think when they get healthy, just that competition. In the way they looked in the 2 practices I saw, they dominated those receivers, which is good news and bad news. But yeah, man, I was really impressed with the DBs, and the way Marcus Woodson was talking about them, you feel even more encouraged by what you see. So I thought that was my biggest takeaway is I think that even losing a potential early round pick in Asante Samuel and Nasruddin, I guess for that matter, although he didn't really play last year, I think they could be improved in the secondary overall.
Anything else, Wes? You usually got 2 for us.
Oh, you know what? I got one. So it's a little bit of a bummer to bring up, but apparently Emmett Rice has sustained some kind of injury, and rumor, it didn't get confirmed, I don't think, by Coach Norvell, but the rumors are saying it could be a potential ACL. Do you guys have anything on that insight, or just that he was just injured?
No, I think at least I'm in the same boat as most folks, as well as you, Wes. We did see the rumor about an ACL potentially. I think the way that Norvell answered it makes me believe that it's probably going to be something that's going to be months, maybe a season. I mean, yeah. When you see the rumor, you hear the way that Norvell talks about it, based on the way he talks about other injuries, it does sound like probably a worst case kind of thing, which, I mean, like, your heart breaks for the kid, because it sounds like he's done everything they wanted him to do coming back as a super senior 6-year guy, and to kind of maybe potentially lose it all here in the spring, that's got to be just absolutely crushing for him. So we don't know, but yeah, to what Norvell said in his post practice comments, that it's going to be, I don't know if he said significant or, but he did say it's going to be for a while. So I'll the proper term that he said. This computer's not working right now. Shane, if Kirk Noles out there, I think he's the Apple guy that fixes these things. Oh, look at that. I just hit it. Now it works.
Oh, there you go. Nice. You're like AC Slater, just elbow in the locker and it pops open. Just smack that thing. Yeah, man, the way that Norvell talked, you do this long enough with the way a coach answers a question, you get a sense of what the real answer is. And he would not come out and say for sure that it was an ACL and he was out for the year, whatever it might be. Maybe, hopefully it is just a sprain or something and he's only out for the spring. But it certainly seemed like they fear that might have been a season ender. Again, that's pure speculation. We don't know that for sure. But, yeah, man, it didn't – just the way he talked, it didn't sound good. It didn't sound like it was something that Emmett Rice will be back full strength in a month.
Yeah. Which
is part of football. It's unavoidable, but it's a bummer, especially for a kid that apparently was doing everything right. It's his 6th year, 7th year, however long he's been here. It's a real bummer that he might miss this senior year.
Yeah, and I guess the question to that is that we already know that the depth at the linebacker position is kind of thin, and it was a big, it was nice having him coming back, and you got Gainer in there. Do you guys feel that they've got people that, Lundy, Dix, what have you, to go? Do you think they may use that last transfer, or that last scholarship for a transfer, potentially linebacker? Or do you still think they'll just go for a tackle and make it work with who they got if he is out?
T. Grubbs, come home already, man. Come home already.
Yeah, quit playing this game, Tyler.
Yeah, no, I would think linebacker probably is behind receiver and offensive line. They like Dix and Lundy. I mean, they gave them a lot of burn in the scrimmage because I think they're trying to get those guys ready to build up the depth because they liked what they had with Emmett and Amari. So I think they probably feel good about it. They mentioned Kalen DeLoach a few days ago. We haven't really talked about him. He's been around for a few years, so maybe he can kind of make some strides here. But they've said good things about Lundy and Dick, so I think he's just going to be next man up at linebacker. That's
I would say, Wes, I think if you'd asked us that question a week ago, we'd have said no. You're not spending a scholarship on a linebacker, a transfer linebacker, unless it is the great Tyler Grubbs. But now I think it's at least in the conversation because you really don't have anybody that's proven anything. Amari's had a few moments. Dix was a true freshman. So was Lundy. I mean, there's nobody in that linebacking core. Emmett Rice was it that had actually had games that had led the team in tackles. And so to lose him potentially, that's not an easy replacement. But I still think if you only got one, I think I'm with Aslan. I think you go OL or wide receiver before you do linebacker.
What about all that?
Maybe OL for sure. Linebacker is pretty important.
What about all those defensive backs they have? You think one of those guys could play in the box?
I like the way you said that.
No, like Travis J. I mean, Travis J. We talked about how physical and dynamic he is. I mean, could he?
No, I think they would move. I think you could move someone or talk about it or think about it. I don't think it'd be him. I think they want to they think he's an NFL safety and they want to start getting him reps so he can dominate games from a safety position, I think. But yeah, it's certainly they could try.
Wes, cut us a promo since you asked us a bummer question.
Yeah, I got to. Hey, Corey, be careful going up to Indy and have fun. And we're pulling for the basketball team. Hopefully, get another big win and on to the Elite Eight and hopefully Final Four and go from there. But anyway, yeah, y'all appreciate taking the call. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to warchant.com, and don't forget, drink your delicious DeLuna coffee. Have a good evening. Go Noles, fellas.
That's Wes in the Villages. What's
always up? Bringing it. Always bringing it, that guy.
We appreciate you, man. So this dovetails nicely into the call from Wes. Shout out Seven Toms, a.k.a. Noli Moly, I think, over on the Tribal Council. What was the most impressive play you've seen in a practice or scrimmage? Last Thursday, the Jarian Jones interception where he basically plowed through his wide receiver that was setting up the block on the wide receiver screen, pushed him into the receiver and somehow ended up having the ball, all in one fell swoop, in 1.3 seconds, broke on the ball, hit a man into another man and intercepted the ball. That's pretty solid.
I was going to say one of those Portier catches really stood out, and it was right after it was at least an hour maybe after a horrible drop, but he jumped over Akeem Dent and made a really remarkable catch. But I wanted to say and it's not like a drill. I mean, it's not a 7-on-7 or 11-on-11, but Jermaine Johnson in the Oklahoma drill or whatever they term it, they just couldn't block him, and he made a couple of ridiculous plays to get by the offensive lineman that was unlucky enough to draw that assignment. And he's not just a speed guy. At least he's not in that drill. Like, he's pushing dudes into the runner. He's not just swinging, going around them like like he's Carl Lewis. He's pushing guys. He's strong too. So to me, that was really impressive. I thought, and I'm sure he's mostly just an edge guy. He's just coming off the edge. He's going to stand up and use that speed, but he can push you back. He does have some strength and some leverage.
Seven Toms, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And hopefully we'll have some more to share next week because, again, the scrimmage is going to be open to the media on Saturday.
How about that? You like that, don't you, buddy?
Yeah, you like that. And it shouldn't be cold and blustery. It's going to be crazy. Like last week, we were all bundled up and freezing, and I think this week we'll probably be sweating, but not complaining at all. Khalil Young. Let's Khalil.
Oh, man.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Let's go.
Great cash, homie.
Khalil, by the way, you emailed me, which I appreciate, but you didn't tell me what city and your zip code. I need to know those things so that I can put items in things and then send it to you. So everybody's waiting on you, Khalil. We're all waiting on you.
Because Khalil is a pillar.
Yeah.
He is definitely a pillar.
It's so crazy to me that, like, of all the avatars to have, Terrence Smith. You love Terrence Smith. But like Terrence Smith? Anyhow.
It's probably a story there.
Who are the best players to play for FSU out of Duval County? I'm a First Coast High School alumni, so I'm biased towards my Bucks. Reggie Northrup and Jermaine Thomas are my picks, but if I'm being real, Leroy Butler is as well. Family. Oh, really? I don't know. Also, James Collins, basketball is my cousin. Look at you. Good stock. Good stock.
Yeah, James Collins could really play, man. I think he led them in scoring. Like, he came right after all the Sweet 16 runs. He was like their next really good player, and those teams weren't just quite good enough. But James Collins was really good. I think he led them in scoring at least one year. Number 23 could rise up, could really jump.
Look at you. Let's go, Corey. Let Clarence throw it out there. All right.
I had to. Look, Leroy Butler's the answer.
All right. Well, who are the best? Not the best.
That's what I'm trying to think, man. I'm having a hard time with Jacksonville guys. I know they've had him. Edgar Bennett, I think, was from Jacksonville. That's a really good one. Who are the ones in recent years?
Nigel Carr.
Come on, man. Avis Comack. Let's go. Let's get some real ones.
Well, Leon
Jermaine Thomas is a good answer. Northrop at least started for a couple years. Jermaine Thomas had a nice career.
Leon Washington.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Edgar Bennett was really good. I'd say Leon, and right now Leon and Leroy Butler are my top two right now. If we're just going on what we've said so far. If anybody else has any suggestions, by all means.
Yeah.
But right now I'm drawing a blank.
Duval County, stand up. DeMontre came in with Leon Washington.
Yeah.
Smart man. But yeah, I can't draw blanks on Jacksonville guys right now. I don't know. Has it really been I wonder if it really has been all that kind to us over the years. I mean, they've gone after. Lavernius Coles, Khalil says.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was one of the most talented ones. But yeah, he made. Yeah, that's a good one.
Come on, guys. Come on, Aslan and Corey. Come on, guys.
Hey, at least I said some. Well, you said Leon Washington, so we both did well. Yeah, man, I think Jacksonville's been all right to Florida State over the years. DeMarcus Walker's a really good one. I'm still going with Leroy. It's gonna be hard for somebody to knock Leroy Butler off that perch for me.
Kane Daub, final answer.
Yeah, okay, Kane Daub. That's not a bad one either. Yeah, we can't sleep on Comack. But yeah, that's a good question, man. That's a good question. And
for some reason, I remember Lamar Lewis. I remember Cornelius Lewis, like the offensive lineman that came in like 2005. Like I remember lots of Jacksonville guys, but not a lot of guys that ended up, panning out for Florida State. Andrew Baselli, there's another Jacksonville product.
Okay, say no more. Say no more.
Ask me guys from Jacksonville that didn't pan out. I'll go on.
Yeah, I was going to say you got that on lock. But the ones that are good, they just slip through your brain.
Oh, no. Well, I'm trying to think of like national title teams, like 2013. I mean, DeMarcus Walker was on that team, but he wasn't like an everyday down guy. Yeah, Christian Jones is like Winter Park. I think Christian Jones actually got the Bears brought him back in for a visit, so he's sticking around the league right now.
Okay, good. There goes CJ.
We appreciate it. Always good questions, Khalil. Always good as we delve back into the time machine. Charles Edwards, I think it's the first time. Charles, where are you from? And how did you become a Florida State fan? And also, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Dollar bills, y'all.
50 American.
Did you play that for Khalil, our man Khalil?
I didn't play music for Khalil. No, I did. I went crazy. I think I went crazy.
Okay, good. Because Khalil deserves it, man. Khalil is he's really generous to us. We really, really do appreciate it. And he asked my type of questions.
Yeah.
The old school questions, not I love my job and I enjoy watching football, but man, it was fun to watch really good teams and talk about really good players. So hopefully we're getting back to that. This is the year we get back to that. But Charles, yeah, we know he's from the Peach State. You asked him where he's from. We know he's from the Peach State, but where?
Yeah.
Because one of these guys grew up in the Peach State, so it'd be interesting to know where you're from, man.
There we go. Dane's in Omaha. Hopefully we'll come hang out with you one of these times while we're out there for the College World Series. Oh, we got some callers in the queue. I want to get to those real quickly.
Aslan took a knee.
What? Let's go. It's Ray Pereira. Ray Pereira's hanging out. Ray Pereira's making plays. Ray Pereira keeping the party going. Ray, Bubby, let's go.
Bubby.
Nothing. He says nothing, though. He's just like, here.
Doesn't need it. Doesn't even want to say anything. He knows where he stands. He's fine. It's just his corner. His corner. He's letting everybody know. He's reminding everyone, Ray, you're the best, man. You are the rest.
I mean, Ray,
you are the best. It's unbelievable.
Ray just coming over the top, man. That's what he does. Just coming over the top.
An iconic brand.
He is an iconic brand. And I mean, Wake Up Warchant is also an iconic brand, but only because of people like Ray and Khalil and well, you know who you are. You all know who you are. But yeah, and Aslan, look, man, you need when Ray Pereira comes to town, he gets to sleep wherever. If he wants your bed, you're on the couch.
Yeah, man, I'm gone. Yeah, no Airbnb needed, Ray. You get the office. You'll get the South Side offices. All yours, man. All yours.
I think there's about 7 or 8 others that are in line for that too, right? Like if Khalil rolls into town, or our man Shane in Dallas, I feel like there's some guys that are out there, some pillars that we all know who the pillars are. Yeah. If they say, Aslan, I need your house for 48 hours, you got to get out. You go stay at a hotel.
I got a spare key with your guy's name on it. Maybe also this gentleman too, man. He's starting to become a fixture of the program, and I like it. I like it a lot, and I need to actually give him the address so he can send us some. He wants to send us stuff, Corey. I mean, these people, we want to be here talking about Florida State out of the goodness of our heart. People just want to, get involved and show us they appreciate us by doing these great things, which cannot say just how much it means. It's awesome. But we got our dude. We got our friend out in Hawaii. It's Ralph. Ralph, aloha, friend.
Hello, guys. Aloha. How's it?
Yes, that's right. Great, man.
What is it out there, like noon? What time is it out there right now? Is it 8 a.m.?
Just hit 15. It's about 1500 or 3 p.m. I'm sitting on a mountainside overlooking the ocean, listening to my favorite podcast, and life absolutely could not be better.
What a world. What a world. What a life.
Ralph living.
It is.
Thriving.
I wanted to call in real fast. Corey, about 2 weeks ago, you guys were talking and you made a comment about Dallas, Texas. Someone put an X on the spot for the Kennedy assassination. And it instantly brought back memories of 96 when I was on a tour of Cairo, Egypt. Amongst all of the beautiful historic sites, one of the tour attractions was the reviewing stands where the military assassinated their president, Anwar Sadat, in 1980. So I thought that was a really weird thing to show a group of people on a tour of your city.
Yeah.
So
it's odd, right? Like that's it's not something you would think the city would be proud of, but it is also a historic event. But yeah, man, I don't know how you do that.
So anyways, I just wanted to call in real fast. I got my plane ticket and my game ticket. I'm flying in on the 26th. I'll be there in the morning, August 26th. My offer to take you guys to lunch or dinner, happy hour, whatever, is always on the table, but I'm certainly not going to badger you about it. I'll be in town from 26 August to 7 September, visiting family, friends, and hopefully any Warchant people that are out there. I love all of you guys.
Heck yeah, hey, man! We're gonna cater something for you, man. Don't you worry about taking us out to lunch. We're gonna try to get something going on for that Notre Dame game. I feel like everything's lining up for that to be the better play than of trying to put something together for the spring game. So yeah. You keep calling, keep staying in touch with us, though, Ralph.
Yeah, thank you. So real quick, my question for you is, it's very obvious in the interviews with the coaching staff that they have a spring camp and a fall camp mentality. They do different things. I was wondering, does Coach Storms in the conditioning program, do you guys know, does he break it up and each cycle he really targets certain things, or just straight weightlifting, nutrition, pack on the weight, just kind of standard throughout the year? Do you guys know?
I'm not sure how he programs their weight training program. I mean, they're doing the same powerlifting, Olympic lifting, explosive stuff. I do know what they like to do that I think is kind of unique is that they talked about how they kind of keep the freshmen separate. Like they let those guys work out by themselves under like the tutelage of Storms and them. So that way they can kind of become leaders amongst themselves instead of throwing them around all these veterans that have been around for a long time. So I do know they try to kind of slowly work them up, but I don't know like how they're programming their lifts and what they're doing on what days. But you know what? We get Norvell twice a week, and we're running out of things to ask them. And I'll certainly ask him that next time we get him.
Wouldn't you think, though, Ralph, that it would probably be close to the same? I wouldn't think they would veer too much off what they're always trying to do. Like maybe they have a week where they concentrate on something, but I would think more often than not, they just I would think Storms, if your goal is to get these guys with good weight and build muscle, I don't know. I just feel like that's a consistent, constant thing that you do. But yeah, we'll ask for sure, man.
Yeah, I lift weights, I do CrossFit, I do all kinds of stuff. And generally you go on cycles and you want to shock or confuse the muscle by doing something different. These guys are a lot more professional than I am, obviously. So they have all the latest technology, the tools, the training. So I was just wondering, because, I'm just an individual guy that goes to the gym, runs marathons, tries to stay in shape, 49 years old, and I'm trying not to get the gut out any further than it is. And I know I mix it up, but I'm not a professional. Yeah. My second question, if I'm allowed to ask one, and then I'll hang up and let the other folks get on. When Willie was here, you guys, and I first found you guys, you were talking a lot about the players at practice that weren't actively engaged, dancing around or waiting their turn. And I was just wondering, in this practice, what does the non-participating energy and focus look like from those players waiting their turn? Or have we got to that point yet where we can really see the body language?
That's a really good question. I think, a lot was made early on about the music and the dancing. And if people that listen to this show long enough know that one of us was against it. One of us didn't care. But the thing that bothered me about those practices was, yes, the standing around. There was a lot of standing around while other people, and whether they were dancing or talking or even watching, they weren't getting the reps. But I will say this, Ralph, I think watching these practices, it reminds me more of Jimbo. It's not quite like Jimbo because Jimbo was literally, it was two fields all the time, constant. It's not that way with these guys. They're usually on one field for the 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 stuff and the scout team stuff. But they're rotating in so much that they really are all engaged. There might be a couple guys, maybe freshmen that aren't playing. I'm just projecting like when the fall gets here, then maybe they won't get a lot of reps, but they really do rotate a lot, and they all get reps out there.
Yeah, a lot of eye contact on their position coaches, lots of understanding. Not a lot of dead time with the position coach waiting for his analyst guy or his student assistant to get him the footballs or to move the equipment. Like everything is pretty orchestrated. A lot more coordination. It feels like not a lot of, hey, let's wait around, let's get this set up, and hey, where's the ball? Hey, I said to have the ball on the hash, on the left hash, but it's on the right. There's not a lot of that going on. It seems to be a little bit more tightly run ship, but we'll see if that results in better success on Saturdays. We're sure hope
that would help.
Yeah, and I'm really big on that non-active participant body language. That to me says a lot. I over the years observing my Marine, who was with me, told me, you know, by the way they stood, or like you said, whether they were even looking at me or excited to get their turn. Anyway,
and I will say we weren't dodging the question there, Ralph. I did want to say that our vantage point, you know, we can't see into their eyes. They're all standing there looking they're looking ahead, but we don't know. You know, they might just be thinking about their girlfriend or their, you know, whatever else, their chemistry class. We can't tell how engaged they are. Nobody's not looking. Nobody's ignoring what's going on in the field. And again, it's so up tempo and it's so constant. The yelling, the not yelling at kids, but just let's go, let's go, let's go. That there's not a lot. There's just not time for a lot of standing around and daydreaming.
Okay. Well, Aslan, your question of Coach Norvell about the punters was classic. His death stare. That's a picture I will remember forever. I love that question. Thank you so much for doing that. Southern Pecan Pie, DeLuna Coffee is what I get every morning when I go into the office. Go Warchant, hoorah. I love you guys.
That's right. Feelings mutual. That's Ralph, everybody, in Hawaii. It's 1,500 hours over there.
1519 now. Coming up on 1520.
There we go.
We got about 40 till 16.
I was going to say, I think Ira put this in the notes on Thursday. Hopefully Ralph's still listening to it. When they were doing their Oklahoma drill or their hybrid or their derivative of it or whatever, there was one rep where I think Deontay Williams was going, and then like he went on his one rep, and I think he wanted to go again, but then Quayshawn Fuller, maybe it was the roles were reversed, but those two guys were like fighting over who got to go next. And the coach had to blow the whistle and kind of get in there and separate them. Like, all right, it's your turn. You'll go next. So there was that sort of enthusiasm to get involved and want to be in that drill. So hopefully give some more insight to Ralph there. Ray, meanwhile, with his $200, has a question. As on Corey, what's causing all this with our baseball team? Start terribly, and then they begin destroying top 10 teams. Tell them about it, Corey. 6 in a row.
6 in a row. Yeah, man, I don't know. And that was, again, we talked about that's the best week probably in the history of the Florida State baseball team for a regular season week. I mean, you couldn't do any better. You beat 2 top 5 teams. They're your rivals, and you beat them 44-4. Just nuts. 50 strikeouts in 4 games for your pitchers. Yeah, man, Robbie Martin is the easy answer. Logan Lacey started crushing the ball. Tyler Martin's been doing what Tyler Martin does, just get on base and score runs. In the pitching, again, there is lived up to the hype so far. I looked it up today. They're, I think, 6th in the nation in Power 5 and ERA for Power 5 teams. They're 12th overall, but they're 6th in the nation if you count. No, I'm not talking about Ryder or teams like that, but like Power 5 programs, major programs. They're 6th in the nation in ERA. They're 7th in the nation in strikeouts. So they're striking out a ton of guys. They're fielding the ball well. You don't have to field it great when you strike out a lot of guys too. When you're averaging, that's 4 innings where nobody puts the ball in play. So you only got to field well for 5 innings, not 9, because 4 of the innings are, they're averaging 12 strikeouts a game. And yeah, man, I just think the one thing they were missing was the slugging. They weren't hitting. They were getting some hits, not many. They were hitting like 200, but even their hits were singles and little bleeders and bloop. Now they're hitting them over the fence, off the fence. That game yesterday obviously was. By the way, I saw the highlights of it. So did you not get the explanation that Meat was telling?
Well, so I never heard on the telecast, and the guys in the booth didn't know that they called.
Because that's what confused me. It bothered me that the play-by-play guy didn't understand that would have been an infield fly. Because when it's an infield, it not bothered me. It's just, it was confusing. It confused a lot of people. When the ball goes up in the air with the bases loaded and nobody out, they call infield fly rule. So whether the guy catches it or not, the batter's already out. He's out. Matt Nelson is out. But you can advance at your own risk if he drops it. But it's not a force out because the guy that hit it is already out. So you can't just throw it to second and the guy on first is out. You have to tag him. So the second baseman threw it home to the UCF catcher, and the catcher just had his foot on the plate like it was a force out, and he didn't tag him. And that's why the run scored. Umpire got it right away. You have to tag in that situation because it's not a force out at that point. But yeah, obviously they were lucky to win that game because of just UCF imploded. But yeah, man, they hit and pitch. They hit real well, and they're pitching lights out. They're just pitching lights out. They're doing well.
They're punching everybody out. Yeah, I mean, they're not. You know, we keep asking Meade after all these wins, like, you know, what have you been doing differently? He hasn't said their approach has changed. He doesn't feel they've been any more, you know, aggressive than they were in the past. He just simply thinks like they were just kind of getting their own way and swinging at stuff that they shouldn't have been swinging. Now they kind of know what to go after. Maybe there's a better feel for it. But this is like 2 weeks now where every time we talk to the players, they keep talking about that Sunday game in Virginia Tech and in Blacksburg. Yeah, and the Friday and Saturday, man, they had pretty good attendance in those stadiums for those games, and they were razzing the heck out of Florida State, especially Tyler Martin. Yeah, and they, you know, and Meade said it after they beat Virginia Tech on Sunday that he told his staff, his coaches, Jimmy Bellinger and Mike Metcalf, that, hey man, like I want this game about as badly as I've wanted any game in my life. And they all came out and responded. And they just kept it rolling. So as much as we saw them not respond well to adversity against Pitt, you know, they showed against Virginia Tech and Blacksburg, and now they're handling success well. Man, they beat the Gators, they beat Miami, they freaking beat UCF by not having a single hit or getting the ball out of the infield last night. So
that's a nice win, though, because UCF scored on an error where they're trying to turn 2. So it's not like UCF's run was earned necessarily. So yeah, man, just, you know, when you start playing well, you seem to find out you get a little luckier. That's how that works sometimes. You play well, you get the better you play, the luckier you get.
There he is. There he is. There he is. There's Shane Kirkley. What? There he is. What? Let's go. Come on. 150.
Oh, yeah.
150 from our dude in the big D, Shane Kirknell. Thank you, man.
Too kind. Too kind.
Help me fix this thing. This thing is
I'm going to tell you, the computer, and then also, Aslan, when you do get that new house, you got to do a tour, like a 360 tour, so everybody can see what all the generous tips went to. Meanwhile, you know, look at this room that I'm in. Look at that thing. Look at that paint job. Are you kidding?
You know, you have like a built-in green screen behind you, Corey. You can have whatever you want behind you. You know,
that's what Stephanie said. Actually, I shouldn't admit this, but Stephanie's the one that put this up last night. As I just held it. She's the one with the hammer and the nail that hammered it in. And she's like, you really should. You could use this as a green screen too if you need to. So we got that. Next time you need me to act like you can have me in Hawaii. Oh, look at me. I'm in Hawaii with Ralph. You can have Hawaii behind me.
You sound like you're in Naples with Mark.
Hey.
Shane just simply says, this is from me and the newest Seminole fan and Wake Up Warchant viewer, Michelle. Let's go. Don't know who quite Michelle is, but hello. Mahalo. Welcome to the program, Michelle. Be nice to Shane. He's a good dude. We like him around here.
And he's rich.
Oh, man. All right,
You're the best, Shane, and welcome, Michelle. Welcome, Michelle.
I'm terrible, Corey. I'm terrible.
Guys, this is a very special occasion. The Godfather himself has been kind enough to grace us with his presence. The Godfather. This is his damn house. He lives there. He sleeps 20 feet away.
It's Ed Lemix's birthday, man. The man behind the coffee. The man behind this. The man behind that. The man behind all of this, man. It's Ed's birthday. 39, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Happy
38.
Birthday.
It's 38 now.
Why, Ed, why?
Hey, don't question it. Don't question it. Ed, you're the best, man. You're the best. Shane is awesome. Ed, you're the best. Ray, you know, Khalil, like all you guys, man. You're just too kind.
Ed, our title sponsor, just gave us $100. It's his birthday. Yep. His wife, Courtney.
Sounds like Courtney gave it to us, really.
Yeah, said she wanted to give you guys some money on my birthday. Go Noles, beat Michigan. Hopefully see you guys at the spring game. Absolutely, man. If you're at the Unconquered statue, your usual spot, we'll come by and we'll say hi. We'll throw one back with you. Go Noles. Will we beat Michigan, Corey? Will we beat Michigan?
Don't ask me that, man. Sure, I'll say yeah. I think they do better, though, when I'm pessimist.
What concerns you then, Corey?
Just the way Florida State's been playing offensively. They haven't really looked like the same team that could get hot from 4 different guys and score 55.5 or 52.5. They looked better against Colorado. That second half against Colorado was more like we're used to seeing. But it just, again, you're going to get to a point now where if if you're not getting scoring from a number of guys, Michigan, no matter how well you guard them, they got some NBA dudes that are going to score. It's just, you could guard them great. They're going to put up 65, 70 points. It's what Michigan does, most likely, somewhere in that neighborhood. So you're going to have to get some shots from the outside. Scotty and MJ are going to have to make some plays. MJ hasn't hit a 3 this tournament. I think he's only taken 2. He passed up that wide open one against UNC Greensboro at the end of the half. Those guys have to make some shots. And if they do, then, yeah, they could beat Michigan. I think they match up okay with Michigan because Michigan's best player, if Livers isn't playing, which we don't know if he will or not, is the big freshman center. And Florida State does have size to throw at that kid. If Boston can stay out of foul trouble, then I think you can maybe, hopefully, neutralize him a little bit. But, we'll see. He's still really good. He's a future pro. They got 2 or 3 guys that are future pros. They're very well coached, just like Florida State is. It's just, you got to make shots. You got to start making some shots from the perimeter. They're good. Michigan's good defensively.
Wyatt Wilkes. I think the Clark Magic dust sprinkled on him.
Florida State's due. I know Polite kind of had a game like this, but Florida State's due for a dude just to go crazy in a moment like this. Like a Wyatt Wilkes that comes on and hits 7 threes. That does happen. Other teams have that happen. Or MJ hits 10, just goes nuts. Something like that could happen. It's not out of the realm of possibility. They're due for somebody on this stage to have an all-time game.
What if actually
Nate Jack? Maybe they put in Nate Jack and he hits 6 in a row.
All right, very well. All right, Ed, thank you, man. Happy birthday. You and Courtney have fun, but not too much fun out there, you crazy kids. We appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Ed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ed, for everything. Quite obviously, Courtney too. You're the best.
We got 2 callers in the queue. One of them is Mark. Should we go to Mark? Do we think he's done with his conference call? Should we do?
Let's save him for last. Let's go to the other one, then go to Mark.
Okay. All right. Here we go. I don't even know where the 720 zip code is, or area code is, rather. Could you identify yourself, caller? Who are you and where are you calling us from?
I'm so disappointed at you, Aslan. This is Jalen. 720 is definitely Denver. And 303. What are we doing?
It's our friend. It's our friend who came for the Miami game a few years back. It's Jalen, Colorado.
Yeah, man. So how are you guys doing?
Good, buddy. Thanks for asking. We're doing all right.
We're cruising.
All right. So here you go. Couple questions for you real quick. We're not exactly sure where you were in before, but that happened to be like one of my first times at a Florida State basketball game, and it happened to be against North Carolina. We were getting super duper spanked. I wanted to leave. But my homeboy was like, no, let's stay. We came over here or whatever. We actually ended up coming back. We were down like, what was it?
Yeah.
I know Ty Galloway ended up hitting the 3-pointer at the top of the game and like 7 seconds left. So where were you? What was your take on the game?
I was watching it. I don't remember why I was at my mom's house up here in Georgia, but I was. And I feel like they were down 20 in the second half. Something like that. Tim Pickett was on that team. And I think that was the North Carolina team. Like it had Sean May, Rashad McCants, all those guys that I think ended up winning the national championship the next year. And it was like Roy Williams, maybe second year in Chapel Hill. Or maybe it was that year. I don't know. Raymond Felton. I mean, they were loaded with NBA dudes. And it was an all-time collapse. But I remember being at my mom's house watching that game, not even believing what I was seeing. Like I still thought the whole time, North Carolina's still going to win. You're not going to come back from 22 down or whatever. And sure enough, Leonard beat him.
What year was this? 2004?
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, right there. So I think it was the year before North Carolina won the championship.
I'm like 90% sure I was there.
But you wouldn't remember that. That's how big a basketball fan Aslan is. The biggest comeback in Florida State history against Carolina. And he's like, I think I might have been there. I might have rushed the floor. I can't quite recall.
Definitely didn't. I remember because I can't find it any longer. It's lost to the ether on the internet. But there's a photo of me and like 4 of my buddies like in the 300 section with the floor to our back, with the floor covered in fans that rushed the court. I'm pretty sure I was there for that game. I mean, it's a blur. I mean, it's 16.
It's college.
And you can drink. That was the whole reason you went to basketball games back in the day at Florida State. It was like, hey, you can drink here and watch a game live. So I'm pretty sure I was there because I remember seeing them. I want to say they beat Duke at home, I think that year too. I saw two like big blue bloods go down when I was in Florida State, like in one single season. I feel like maybe it was that year. I'll check it out. You got anything else for us, Jalen, while I do some research?
Yeah. I had two different ones. You guys can just pick, I guess, whichever one. So like to get the 9 wins or maybe even 10 this year, what segment or segments of the team would have to like completely exceed expectations this year? And then my other one was out of basketball, baseball, and football, we were guaranteed a championship within the next 2 years. Which would mean the most to you?
Those are hard. For the first question, and this isn't a joke. I would say all of them. Legitimately, like the defensive line has to perform better than I expect it to, and I'm not expecting much out of the linebackers, especially now that Emmett Rice might be done or gone for the year. But yeah, to answer the question in one specific answer, I guess I would stick with defensive line. I think if the defensive line can be a constant pressure force on quarterbacks and can stop the run at least somewhat consistently, you can't have a good defense without a good defensive line. So if they're going to win 10 games, which again, this is just hypothetical, Jalen, we get it. But if they're going to win 10 games, then the defense has to be much, much better than it was last year, because last year was absurd. And for the defense to be good, you have to have a good defensive line. So that's what I would say if I had to pick one. That's the segment that has to play above and beyond what we expected to. What do you got, Aslan?
What was the question? They beat Duke in 2003 at home. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think they beat Wake. They beat Wake that year too with Chris Paul. I think that was a big upset too.
Okay.
And that was a court rushing. Like that was another one that they rushed the floor.
No, they played Wake Forest 3 times that year and lost to them every single time. The 2002-2003 season.
Oh, then maybe it was that year, the 04. Well, or maybe the year before. Wherever Chris Paul, they did beat Chris Paul one year when they were ranked in the top 10.
You sure it wasn't Cliff Paul?
I think it was Cliff Paul. Cliff Paul was terrible. Couldn't see.
It was actually the next game after that North Carolina game. They beat North Carolina January 22nd at home. They were number 7, North Carolina, and then on that Sunday they beat Wake Forest, who was number 10.
Oh, and then they didn't make the tournament. Even with that, they didn't make the tournament. That's tough.
That is correct. Well, yeah, they lost.
So answer Jalen's question.
What was it? What segment?
What segment, if they were going to get to 9 or 10 wins, what segments would have to play better than anticipated, essentially? But I just picked defensive line.
Yeah, you're right. That, or I guess I'll say maybe wide receivers, just because no one seems to have a lot of good vibes right now for them. They're young. Not that they're like doomed for, perpetuity, but they're just young right now. But yeah, the defensive line, just figure out something. Either stop the run really well or rush the passer really well. Do one of those things. Have an identity, a calling card up front, and that changes the complexion of things, man. If they can't run the ball, then, you're a little bit more prepared on the back end when they're going to have to throw all the time. And if they can rush the passer, then that just makes everything easier for the back end. So defensive line, yeah, because, again, man, Robert Cooper is like, I guess you could say Fabian Lovett's a proven entity, Kier Thomas, but he's not playing and practicing right now. And Fabian was always a reserve guy at Mississippi State and trying to, I guess he played a different technique. He was playing like a, 2 technique or whatever at Mississippi State. So yeah, defensive line, I'd like to see them, don't be one of the best units in the world in the country like we thought last year. Just be good, please.
That'd be nice. And to answer the other question, Jalen, I would say in the next 2 years, the one that I would pick is probably, maybe it's because it's this time of the year, but probably basketball. If Leonard got himself a championship, that would be and you look, man, I've known Leonard now for 13 years or 14 years, whatever it's been. I've known Norvell for 9 months. Like, obviously, I know what drives the ship. I know football would be incredible to go back and win a championship, but I do think that's coming regardless. I don't know that Florida State will ever reach these heights again in basketball. I hope they do, but I think baseball is going to be consistently good. I just want Leonard, before his run here is over, that would be so neat for him to get himself a title.
I'm selfish. I want a national title in football because you get cool gifts. At the meeting.
No, that's a good point too.
I want that. A little bit selfish. All right, Jalen, we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Have a good one.
That's right. All right.
Thank you, buddy.
Let's get to our last.
I know I bring this up every time, but wasn't he incredibly built?
Yes. Yeah.
Like looked like it didn't even look real. He was so muscular. Okay, just making sure. And he wasn't even. It's not like he was shirtless when we met him. It's just one of those dudes. It's just ridiculous. It was incredible.
Swole, dude was swole. That's for sure. All right, let's get Mark. Right. See.
Yeah. Why'd you say it like that?
Well, we got a whole bunch of YouTube stuff we got to get to too. I just want to make sure Mark's blood pressure has come down maybe a tick or two. Mark, you there, man?
Yeah, I'm here. Conference call's over.
Thank goodness.
I don't want to curse like Gator Kirk, but I'm ready to.
Yeah, don't right now. Did they get the? So what was it? Was there a stucco problem at the community pool or something?
Even worse than that, I feel like I babysit at a high hourly rate for people that like adults that can't get along. But that's okay. That's it reminds me, Corey, I wanted to share with you when you were talking about how everything is an argument with Brady. Everything is an argument with my kids. Like you could say, get dressed for school or do this, do that, and it's like it's a debate all the time.
Yeah.
I have an 11 and a 13-year-old, and it's I share your pain, man.
Good, man. Well, it's good to know. I've been told this before, but still, it just sometimes feels like, what am I doing wrong? Why is my kid like this? And not that he's a bad kid, but why would his first instinct always be to say the opposite and to say no or why? Why? But I keep getting repeatedly told by other parents, trust this. It happens to us too. Trust me, it happens to us too. So that's good. I appreciate it, Mark. I appreciate the support. We're all in this together. We're all raising kids together for this.
Yeah.
Takes a village.
Yeah. You get the biggest discipline you can do is take away the electronics, and that's all they care about. Just take it away.
Oh yeah, the phone. That was a great suggestion. I can't remember who gave it to me. It might have been you, but somebody, when I was debating whether to get a phone or not, somebody's like, that is the best mode of punishment because they'll go paint the house if you threaten to take their phone away. They'll do anything to keep their phone.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll go out and do Mr. Miyagi. They'll paint the fence, they'll paint the house, they'll cut songs off. So I just
clean the car. Show me clean the car.
It's been a long day, so I don't really have I've asked a lot of questions about the quarterbacks and the spring practice. So I just want to know, like, if you're driving back up to Indianapolis and if we can't put you in the limo, then I understand. Keep that, in your mind. But what do you and Stephanie jam out to a certain a set of tunes on the way up?
So we got an XM. She won't be going with me this time. It'll be Brady, so it'll be me listening to a podcast probably. But we usually go on XM. We'll either do Lithium, which is like 90s alternative, it's our age, so that's what we grew up listening to, or when we were first into music. Or she loves Dave Matthews. So sometimes I'll let her go to the Dave Matthews channel and I'll realize we have driven an hour and they played 2 songs because all his songs are all 33 minutes long. And just we go back and forth on the dial, and then occasionally we'll put on our own playlist. Yeah, but that's about it. And we talk. We like to talk, so that helps too.
Yeah.
Talk about how mad I am at the traffic. That usually takes up a lot of it. It's like, here we go again. And when I'm yelling at her, like, why did the GPS tell us to go this way? Stuff like that.
Well, I wish you the best going back up. We're so excited about the Michigan game. My kids are into it. Check out Cowboy Mouth, New Orleans band, Southern Rock.
Okay. All right.
A couple times. Yeah, they're really good.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I got to listen to something. I'm not going to listen to Brady, so I'll listen to something on the way up for sure.
No, he'll be looking at his phone the whole way up, and he may talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, to ask me when we're going to eat. That'll be what he asked me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I sorry, it's been a long night. Thank you guys for putting me back in the queue, Aslan. I love you guys, and beat Michigan, and it's good times are ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, thanks for the tip earlier, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, buddy, for real.
All right, great show. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, just realized we probably should have asked him about his trip to Utah, his ski trip, But
Oh, yeah.
we can say that for another time. Khalil Young's back. What team was better, 2012 or 14? Football.
Yeah, not basketball. I'd go with the 12 basketball team. I guess you go 14, but on the whole, it's hard to judge 12 because the schedule was so. They just didn't play a lot of good teams that year. The 2014 team did, and they won them all except the last one, but it was never easy. It never looked easy. That 2012 team had Werner. It had Carradine. It still had Jernigan. That's tough, man. I would say the 2012 team probably had more talent because they had more guys drafted off that team than the 14 team did. But one team had Jameis and one didn't. One team had a senior Rashad Green. The other team didn't. One team had Dalvin Cook. So, okay, 14. But 12 was good, man. 12 was just, that goofy loss in Raleigh. And then the Florida game was just an abject horror show with the turnovers. But, yeah, that was a good team. It's a really good team.
Thanks, Khalil. Appreciate you, man.
You're not going to answer it?
14, yeah.
All right. EJ wasn't bad. And I feel like the 12 team was good enough that if you're going to turn it over 3 times or 4 times or not start playing until the second half, they might be able to hold on and beat you. They had a good kicker too. Just throwing that out there. It's a good question. I hadn't ever thought about that.
I just remember 2012, the Florida game. I think it might have been the first time I went to the Grove. I think like the second time I was in the Grove in Mississippi. I remember it was in the tailgate I was at. They had the Florida State game on, and Florida State was up. I'm like, oh, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. I'm going to go work now. I'm going to go cover the Egg Bowl. We'll be good. And I just remember looking at the ribbon board 2 hours later, and they had the final score up there, and I was just fell to my knees. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I still held out this crazy thought that they'd somehow be able to backdoor into the BCS title game if they were able to beat Florida, which they wouldn't have. But, you're holding on to all hope at that point. But
right.
It hurts. Thank you, Khalil. Todd Gibson. I'm a rookie at this. As I said before, I don't know how to give more than $99.
Well, figure it out, Todd. We're tired of this.
More than 99 cents.
Come on, man.
What? Let's go, man.
Straight cash, homie.
Todd, welcome, man. You're a rookie, but you're a pro at this.
Man, Todd, thank you. Thank you very much, buddy. Next time, ask a question. Tell us to do something. I hop on one foot. Bark like a dog, whatever, man. It's very, very nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
Todd says, I enjoy the show. Obviously, tell Gene that's what made me subscribe. Marketing works. All right, Gene, you hear that? There we go.
Gene, welcome, come on, man. Come on. We're the money makers. That's why they call us the money makers.
Says, my son's graduating this semester at FSU and has been the second best mascot in the U.S. Congratulations, Chris. Love you and super proud. Sky's the limit. So just give me a shout
All
out.
right.
You can do that. You can do that, man. You can do that. You're totally welcome to do that.
For that, absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say, ask a question. That was better than a question. You're giving a shout out to your kid. That's really nice. And I got one of the kids on Brady's baseball team. It looks like his sister is going to go to Florida State.
There you go. Congrats.
So there you go. So
something these days. It's not like back in my day where it's like, hey, Florida State.
No, I kept telling him. Well, he was kind of hoping she'd go in state just for the money.
Yeah.
Obviously, and that's the thing that all parents would have to think about at some point. But he's really excited because I'm like, man, Florida State's a good school. He goes, oh, I know. We've done all the research. It's a really good school. So, yeah, man, that's exciting. That's exciting.
Thank you, Todd. Appreciate it, man. Hopefully you.
Thank you very much, Todd. That's very nice.
The FSU Spring 2021 promo. Nonetheless, though, thank you very much. I don't know if he's being serious. I says, Chris, you did great as Cimarron. I don't know if he's being serious or not. That's crazy because maybe his son was in the Cimarron costume. I don't know.
Could be, man. Somebody has to be in it.
Eric Angel's back. Eric, what's going on, man? He's like bookending us on the show. I think one of the first ones. Aslan Corey, I believe our defense is going to be fine this season. However, main concern is our offense. Sounds like they need more improvement as spring practice is going on. Thoughts? Hopefully Mackenzie Milton starts. That's from Eric.
Yeah, you're probably not alone there, Eric, in that hope. Yeah, man, I'm not believing in the defense yet, buddy. I know the offense has to get better. It wasn't good last year. But the defense was the offense had, I guess, more excuses, like, the fact that they didn't have 6 NFL draft picks on the offense, and they didn't have a quarterback, and the ones they did have were hurt. The defense was just abysmal. So hopefully the defense, if it does improve and the offense improves, you're looking at you could have a winning record. You have 8 wins, 9 wins maybe. But I'm still, until I see otherwise, I'm always going to be more concerned about the defense.
So then how do you
and the offense did well in the scrimmage, right? The offense had made some plays in that scrimmage. And Norvell said as much today that, like, he thought the offense had won the last few days, including the scrimmage. So he said the defense today came around and had a better effort.
Okay. All right, well, never mind. I was going to ask you something, but that's fine.
Sorry, buddy.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you again, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Eric. That's too kind. Thank you, buddy.
If you ever send me an email saying that you're in town and we're 800 miles away from Tallahassee, I'll respond to your email.
That's my fault. It's my fault.
Khalil says that if they played against each other, he thinks it would be tougher for the 2014 team, I guess, to score than 2012 simply because of the front 7. I
mean, the 2012 team had, like I said, Warner, Carradine, Jernigan.
Who are the backers? Who are the backers?
Like Vince Williams.
Yeah.
Telvin Smith was one of them. Nick Moody. I mean, they had dudes, man. That team was loaded on defense. The 12 defense was better than the 2014 defense. I don't know about better players top to bottom. It had Jernigan and it had Bjorn Werner, so that helped. And they were certainly tougher to score on than the 2014 one was.
All right, right on.
Just throwing that out there, but again, they didn't have Jameis.
They did not have Jameis. Man,
hey, when you put on a gator, I was going to ask you this: the gator things. This for Gator Kirk. Do you do it like this, like I'm about to do it, Aslan? You got to look at me.
I'm looking at you.
Oh,
yeah, you're doing it right.
Do you do it like this?
That's how I did it. Yeah, I wore that at the scrimmage on Saturday. That's how I did it. Yeah, just over the head.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Looks cool.
Looks good, right?
I think Don Juan Photography we need to thank for that. I think. Shout out to Don Juan. He does really good photos, everybody.
He does, and these things are sweet. They're nice, man.
Let's see here. I don't know. Somebody's asking a question about a game. Michael Langston's in the house, by the way. Everybody, ask Michael Langston your recruiting questions. He'll answer to them. James B's here. James B's like, what? Don't forget about me. What? Don't you forget about me.
What?
That was at the buzzer. I was at the buzzer, James B. I thought we were done.
Sorry, I'm late. I know, man. These shows, like, I usually cut the phone calls off at like the 40-minute mark, but we're at like an hour 20 right now, nearly. Yeah. Sorry, I am late to the party. I've not heard much about the offensive line this spring. Don't apologize, James. Live your life on your boat with your multiple girlfriends.
Yeah.
Just thrive, brother. Thrive. I've not heard much about the offensive line this spring. Has pass blocking improved at all?
Well, you saw the scrimmage.
Yeah, I thought they held up well. And, Jordan and McKenzie also have a really good knack of scrambling out of the pocket, having a feel for things and making plays with their legs, especially Jordan. So, they're still not, we're not the Hogs. We're not, I don't know, the Hogs, right? I mean, what's the best NFL offensive line when people think about it?
No, that's a good one. I would say those mid-90s Cowboys ones.
There you go. Yeah, we're not Dante Scarnecchia coached Patriots offensive line, but they like what they're seeing from Darius Washington. Again, it's hard to be maybe overly critical about the offensive line because I think Corey and I probably both. I know I do. I think Devontae Love-Taylor is our best offensive lineman, and I expect him to probably be just as good post-injury when he does return. So he's not out there right now. Losing Schrader was a bummer. Dante Lucas left the scrimmage, but he returned to practice this week. So. They're the least of our concerns right now, but it's valid to keep an eye on. Maybe I'll do a better job of it on Saturday. It's just crazy because it was Gene, myself, and Ira, and like I said, we're pretty much like kind of doing the same thing. We're like Ira's doing a good job of saying where the ball is down at and how many yards it went because he's tracking it so well. He's telling it to Gene, who's typing it. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? He's like, I don't know. She's like, just, watch the defense. I'm like, okay. But then you follow the ball after a while.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll keep track of Pass Pro and see how that goes.
I would say, though, that the fact that the walk-on running back ran for like 140 yards bodes pretty well, right? That the O-line played well. I know that's not the pass blocking aspect of it, but, they're going to want to run the ball more than they want to throw the ball. Even if McKenzie Milton is the starter, they still want to run. That's what they're predicated this whole offense on. And the fact that a walk-on had a game like that leads you to believe the O-line played pretty well. And it's getting better. And again, we believe in that dude. Atkins seems to be a really good coach, and they got better last season as the season went on.
That's right. All right, let's do it.
We are sorry, but the show has ended. Goodbye.
That is correct. All right, we're done, but the content's not done over at warchant.com. Again, if you haven't seen the one-on-one that Corey did with Wyatt Wilkes, it's super cool. We might even drop it as some sort of Saturday podcast, get your wet your beak a little bit for the Michigan game. Oh, that's what, Sunday, 5 o'clock?
Sunday at 5 o'clock.
Okay, very well.
TBS, I think. I think it's on TBS. I'm not. Check your local listings.
There you go. Baseball back at home this weekend. They got Wake Forest 6 p.m. So we'll have a running thread of that up on the baseball forum. Obviously, again, the scrimmage Saturday open to the media. We'll have a full rundown of that. Post-practice interviews, probably even a bit of a breakdown of what we saw. Happy birthday to Ed Lemix, founder of DelunaCoffee.com. Come explore our world of coffee. Happy birthday to you, Ed. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. Thank you, James B., Eric, Todd. I still don't know, Corey. Should I say their full name? I mean, we already popped it up on the screen, but I feel weird kind of like pointing out their full name. But
hey, that's a personal preference, buddy. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
James B., Eric, Todd, Khalil, Ed on his birthday giving us, I mean, come on, Ed. Love you, man.
The big 3-8. Congratulations, Ed.
Shane Ray Charles, 7 times, Noli Moly. Mark in the wind. Thank you all for the tips. It is much appreciated. Corey,
way too kind. Way too kind. Thank you so much for being who you guys are. You're very, very generous.
You have a super, super safe trip up to Indy, Corey.
Got it.
Dodge the scooters. Stay on top of Brady. Let him know right from wrong, and bring back a W for us, man.
How about 2 of them?
Even better.
The thing is, if they win, if Florida State wins on Sunday, obviously they play on Tuesday, and then they play again on Saturday. So am I going to come back down just to turn around and head back up the next day? Or are me and Brady just going to stay in Indy for 9 days? That's something we got to think about. Just throwing that out there.
I think the Clarks need to take over Circle City, man. That's my vote.
Let's do it.
He's Corey. I'm Aslan. Thanks so much for watching and listening to Wake Up War Chant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee.